Put those votes in. Well, I love this story. The day that comic book fans have eagerly awaited is finally here. An estimated 150,000 visitors are slated to attend the 9th annual New York Comic Con 24. The extravaganza kicked off today with long lines at the Javits Center in Manhattan and continues through Sunday. Among other attractions, the event offers sneak peeks at show screenings before they air. Well, it's a fun event, of course, where visitors often dress in their favorite superhero costumes. It's not Halloween, guys. Tickets for this hot four-day gathering sold out back in June. Jonathan Gray is an author and English scholar who studies comics. He's working on a book about comics and race. He's also an advocate associate professor at John Jay College here in New York and just spent the day at Comic-Con convention. Welcome. Now, I got to tell you, I'm excited about this because I remember the days of Marvel Comics and Stan Lee and DC. I mean, I was more of a Marvel Comics kind of guy.
Of course.
But, you know, I'm looking at you, and I think about myself, and you would think that maybe you're not the kind of person that you would think would be really involved in comics. More white, maybe perhaps a little more geeky, that kind of thing. But here you are. This particular event really is an event of diversity.
Right, it really is. I mean, comics, the audience that goes to Comic-Con, both in San Diego and in New York, is much more diverse, and it sort of belies the stereotype that comics are just like sort of nerdy, socially awkward white men, right? There are a ton of families that go. There's lots of people of color. Of course, there's always been a huge Asian contingent that attends, and so I think if you attend the event thinking you're going to see one kind of person, you're going to be very, very surprised.
Well, one person who's not nerdy at all, you know, is George Clooney, and of course he was at this event. So I mean, that tells you that there's a whole lot going on. I got to tell you, I would probably go there myself too. You know, growing up, you know, looking at comics, for me, I guess one of my favorite superheroes was Spider-Man.
Sure.
Then of course Thor, the Fantastic Four, and the like.
Right.
But growing up in a black middle-class neighborhood, looking at comic books, as all of us did, there were really no black superheroes. And this begs the question, where are they? And are there many out there now? I think there may be one or two that have come up recently.
Well, I have good news for you because the new Spider-Man is Miles Morales, and he is Dominican black from New York, and he has taken over in a comic called Ultimate Spider-Man. And Luke Cage, who you might remember from your youth, has been thoroughly updated, and he actually now leads a team of Avengers. And one of the more recent, this made news in the last couple of weeks, Steve Rogers has lost his powers and is no longer going to be Captain America, and the Falcon, Sam Wilson, the Harlemite, is going to be taking up Captain America's shield. So we now have a black Captain America.
Of course, and going back to World War II, Captain America, Wonder Woman, of course, for the American flag and all that, there's a certain sense of patriotism.
Right.
But what we've also seen, because I want to get to some books here that you brought along, you have a little show and tell here, Black Superheroes. Apparently something might be made out of the Harlem Hellfighters, Dr. King, and of course the Nat Turner Rebellion. Right.
Well, the Nat Turner Rebellion is a story that was done by Kyle Baker, right? And it's beautifully. It came out in 2008. It's one of the great graphic novels written by an African American creator. And in fact, it's an important thing that you talked about Marvel and DC, but if you go to Comic-Con, there are lots of smaller publishers who are doing interesting work, and I have some of it here.
Yeah, show us what you have real briefly.
Right, so one of my favorites is Five Weapons by Jimmy Robinson, and he publishes out of Image, and you've heard of Image because Image also publishes The Walking Dead.
Right.
And so this is a creator-owned comic. It's his work. He writes it. He draws it. It's all his work, and it features a diverse cast. It's sort of like Harry Potter for ninjas, if I was going to describe it. It's great for sort of a high school age. As is this. This is Rat Queens, and this is a new comic. It debuted, and it features an all-female cast, also done by African-American creators as well.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, you've got Comic-Con. Obviously, this is a huge event. It attracts thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. But the question is, where can you find comics these days? You really don't find or see many on newsstands.
Well, so what's happened is that comics have sort of retreated to specialized shops, right? So if anywhere in America, or you can sort of Google and look for a comic shop, the comic shop is gonna stock everything, right? But increasingly, of course, comics are digital, right? And there's a service called Comixology, and you can just download it for free, and you can sort of scroll through, and if you know what you're looking for, they can often point you in that direction, right?
Okay.
So it's tricky, but because of the digital access, it's actually easier than ever to sort of get it on your device, and I mean they actually are booming.
Okay. Any other events coming up that the people know about real quickly?
No, I just wanted to. I talked about two books that are.
You've got 10 seconds left, Jonathan.
All right. Thank you for having me, and I encourage everyone to come down.
And look, it's so much. And Wonder Twins Deactivate. Actually, that wasn't a comic, but it was one of my favorite cartoons.
Never disparage Zan or Jaina.
All right, good enough. Jonathan, great. Thanks so much.
All right, take
and
care.
thanks for watching Arise America. We'll see you here tomorrow if you keep it where it is.